Chris from Hockey Tutorial here. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to hold your hockey stick. We're also going to be pointing out the differences between left and right-handed players, and we're going to be explaining which might be a better option for yourselves. There's a lot of confusion around this subject, so we hope to clear up a few points that some people might be a bit confused about. So the next part we're going to take a quick look at is how to determine or to know if you're left or right-handed. So if you're a right-handed player, like this is a right-handed stick over here, your left hand is going to be at the top of the stick and your right hand is going to be at the middle of the shaft of the stick, as you can see here. In the example showing you that I'm a right-handed player over here. Now, ignore the direction of my stick's blade, because as we said, this is a right-handed stick, but just to show you the positions of your hands if you're going to be a left-handed player, if I switch that the other way around, in this case your right hand will be at the top of the stick and your left hand will be situated around the middle of the shaft of the stick's blade, of the stick shaft. But as I said, please ignore the direction of my stick's blade because this is a right-handed stick. I'm just showing you the positioning of your hands. So the next thing that you need to work out is which stick would be best for you, if you're going to be left-handed or you're going to be right-handed. Now, a lot of the rules that you might come across online are, and some of the rules that a lot of coaches do say, is that they want you to have your dominant hand at the top of the stick. So if you're trying to work out which your dominant hand is, it's the hand that you'd throw a ball with or you'd punch someone with if you're in a fight, as crazy as that sounds, that's going to be your dominant hand. And a lot of coaches and players stress that they want you to have your dominant hand at the top of your stick. What that will help with is overall control over the stick, so for things like general stick handling and also things like poke checks, that would be really good to have an excellent level of control over the stick, which is what having the dominant hand at the top will allow you to do. On the other side, you'll hear a lot of players say that they like to have their dominant hand around the middle of the stick's shaft. Now what that helps with is that your dominant hand is, or the hand that's going to be placed around the centre of the stick's shaft, is the one that's going to be used to generate all of the power and also to generate the flex from your stick. As you may or may not know, the flexing of the stick is where you get all your power from your shots from. So naturally you're going to want the more powerful hand doing those pushing motions for your shooting and your passing, and also being able to flex the stick. You're going to want the stronger hand down there being able to do that. So by having your dominant hand at the middle of the stick shaft, you're going to be able to increase the power and speed of your slap shots, which is something that is obviously going to benefit any kind of a player. But at the same time, you could also say that being able to slap shot a puck real hard or take a nice one-timer doesn't really benefit you if you can't control the stick. So you might be able to take a hard shot, but you're not going to have any accuracy with it, which is why a lot of coaches might say that they want your dominant hand at the top. So there's a lot of pluses and negatives to each, but the most important rule that we like to stress during this video is that, again, like a lot of things on the ice, waxed or not waxed laces, things like that, it's personal preference. So it's a case of picking up two different sticks, a left-handed and a right-handed, messing around with both of them and seeing which one feels most comfortable. If you feel more comfortable with a right-handed stick, be a right-handed player. If you feel more comfortable with a left-handed stick, be a left-handed player. A lot of the things that players use to decide which stick that they should use is which hand you write with. And I'd personally say that that's not a good indication of which side you should use. For example, the majority of people in the world are right-handed, very few of them are left-handed. But you'll find that in leagues and in the sport of hockey, a lot of players are left-handed and very few are right-handed. That could be because of two different things. They could be going by that rule of thumb that I explained about earlier on, which, for example, if you're going to be right-handed, you're going to want your dominant hand to be at the top of the stick. So I'm right-handed, my dominant hand being at the top of the stick, as you can see, it's spun the stick around, making me a left-handed player. So that could be one of the reasons that a lot of players in the league are left-handed and not right-handed, but at the same time, it could just be a case of these players have played around with different sticks and found it to be more comfortable to be using a left-handed stick. So these are some of the things that you need to consider when you're deciding which you should use. So as we said, the main point that we're trying to get at in this video is deciding which hand you should hold the stick in or which one you want to be, left-handed or right-handed. It's personal preference. No one can tell you, regardless of how much experience they have, nobody can tell you what is more comfortable for you. That's something that the player has to decide for themselves. So get a stick in your hand, a right-handed stick and a left-handed, have a play with both of them, see which one feels a lot more comfortable, and try and go for that one. Remember, this isn't a decision that you have to stick with. If you decide later on that you want to perhaps switch and try another one, you're more than free to do that. Some of the points, or you could use this as a rule of thumb to remember. If you're going to have your dominant hand at the top of the stick, that's going to help with overall stick control. If you're going to have your dominant hand around the middle of the stick, that's your power hand, that's going to help with your shots, increasing the speed and power in your shots. So these are some of the things that you can keep in mind. But if you need more help, be sure to click on the link in the video description for a more detailed article. And this is Chris from Hockey Tutorial. Take care till next time, guys.